welcome to the Minorities Report podcast. My name is Antonio Alcazar.
And I'm Tick Neo. Tick Neo.
We're back. We're back with another episode.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we're back. We're back. And what did we watch?
This is 1987. I'm not going to say hit movie. I'm going to say movie. The Running Man.
The Running Man. I have heard of The Running Man.
Yeah, it's a famous Stephen King book.
Oh, is that what? No, it wasn't Stephen King. Was it Stephen King?
Stephen King book.
Oh, but I had heard of The Running Man.
Yeah.
But never anything that gave me any prepared me at all for what The Running Man was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was a movie about a game show.
Yep.
I didn't know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. I didn't know shit about this movie going in. I just
But
had
you'd heard of it.
I had heard the words "The Running Man."
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just Running Man, and then when I googled Running Man, it was like The Running Man.
Yeah.
So like that's how little I knew about this movie. Fucking nothing.
I'll say this about this movie.
Yeah.
This is the exact type of movie we are here for.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
this is the movie when we set up to do this.
Right,
This
yeah.
is the type of movie right here, right? Like old Arnold movies.
Sure.
Or like Arnold adjacent films
Yeah.
that are loved by the masses.
Right.
And do they hold up?
I also don't know that they're loved by the masses.
Why would you say that?
Because, like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I think more people probably have never seen this movie. I want to believe.
The Running Man?
Yeah. I just can't imagine that this one was too big. It just doesn't seem like this one was a big deal.
Spoiler alert.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense to me. All right,
Yeah.
let's get into it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
So, directed by Paul Michael Glasner.
Has he done anything else?
He directed The Air Up There. It was an African basketball movie with Kevin. What is that guy's name? Fuck, I forgot.
Kevin
his name.
Hart?
He was in like Stir of Echo. Oh, I'm a shook and jive. I'm a shook and jive. I fucking hate Kevin Hart, bro.
What was it? What's the director's name?
Paul Michael Glaser.
Paul Michael Einstein?
Yep.
No.
Glaser.
Glazer.
And
Okay, so
he also directed
Yeah, okay.
Kazam or Shazam or some bullshit like that.
The one with Shaq?
Shaq as a genie. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
But he's obviously most well known for being David Starsky in Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird career trajectory.
Yeah, I would agree. But it does actually play into some of the behind the scenes we're going to get into later.
Okay.
Bro, 2017. Remember this shit?
2017. Yes.
Remember when we had Running Man games?
Yeah. So first of all, so I actually took some notes on this one.
Mhm.
My first note is in the intro. The text was very 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I was like, oh, is this a video game movie when I was watching it? Because that's what it looked like. It looked like pixelated, SNES or NES title cards. And then I was pleasantly surprised that this was kind of like video game adjacent. You know, I was like, okay, it wasn't just a weird
Right.
80s font. This was yeah.
And this intro does hit me a little bit, bro, because it's like, yo, this is reality. The only difference is we got football rather than Running Man, bro. But like,
Yeah.
totalitarian
Yes,
police
it
state.
says 2017, the world collapsed. I don't see any evidence of that happening in the movie.
What do you mean?
The movie presents a totally not collapsed society.
I would disagree.
What are you talking about?
Those common people that are just like living in absolute
In
dog
squalor?
shit.
Yeah,
squalor.
okay, so there's a little bit more squalor than in regular life. But otherwise, like, the airports are running, the TV is running.
because all that stuff would run.
Okay, I don't know what they mean by collapse.
When
then.
they're saying
This doesn't look
collapse, it's
post-apocalyptic.
It's not supposed to be post-apocalyptic. Economic collapse.
Okay,
There's
like there was just like a
economic
recession.
Yeah. But
Okay, well, they were being a little
like Great
hyperbolic.
Depression. Yeah. Like, this isn't The Stand, right? You know,
Okay,
this is like
when
Great
I think
Depression.
about collapse, I think of like Children of Men. Like that's an economic collapse. You know, like society is functioning.
No, that is a
barely.
worldwide collapse.
Right. Yeah, but that like society is functioning barely.
Yeah, this isn't Walking Dead.
Right. Well, that's a little bit more extreme. Like in Children of Men, there was at least still society, even though it was just dog shit.
Yeah.
Where like here, the rich people were fucking fine.
That's how it is anytime, bro.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I mean, think about like the fall of the Third Reich, bro. Those fucking German officers were still doing all right up until the end, while there were like old men and little children fighting Russians with RPGs and shit. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I just this didn't smell of collapse. It smelled of, I don't know.
You're getting a little nitpicky about a movie that
didn't seem nitpicky. Also, I went into this movie again not knowing what to expect.
Right.
I thought this was gonna be on par with like Terminator, or like Commando or something.
You were in
I guess it was kind of on par with Commando. It kind of, it seemed like the same budget for Commando.
Bakersfield, California. Arnold is on a mission. He's flying that fucking helicopter. Arnold, basically they get orders to kill a bunch of civilians that are doing a food riot because they don't have any food. So this didn't tell you that like we're in economic collapse situation when there are like people taking over part of LA, like rioting so they can get food.
I mean, when that happened in LA in the 90s and stuff. There's always
was because of Rodney King.
Well, okay, for many reasons, and I think Rodney King probably sparked it. But like, there's always been like, I don't know, food shortages and riots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like it doesn't seem like, I don't know, collapse. It seems like what we're going through now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would call this a collapse of some kind. The beginnings of a collapse.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I guess. So Arnold is like, yo, man, I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
I am not.
Like, go ahead and open fire. He's just like, what are you talking about? They're unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, dude, shoot them dead, please.
Yeah.
And he goes, but there's women and children.
The hell with you? And then
and they're just like, hey, go ahead and kill him. Like, I was like,
no, they said they relieve him of his command, right?
Like,
and then
I don't know, like while he's flying a helicopter, that just seemed
foolish,
dangerous.
Yeah, I would say so. It's a miracle they don't crash, right? So then, of course, he's court-martialed because they kill all those civilians and they blame it on him, right? He goes to jail. We get back to Arnold doing Arnold type of lines. This movie,
the cheesy lines in this movie,
new level,
dude, off the fucking wall, dude. There were so many like little quippy little one-liners.
Yeah.
The first one I was just like, really?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kept going.
Yeah, I agree. So they're in the work camp, prison work camp and whatnot. And they're gonna fucking break it on out, right? So they start getting they put, you don't really know what the whole like plan is gonna be, but clearly the plan starts to go into action.
Right.
The smart guy. That he's smart, right?
I know how he's smart.
How?
Well, he's wearing glasses.
Yes, exactly. That's 1980 smart.
Right. So that dude is smart.
That dude is a computer.
You want to know how to effectively tell your audience this guy is a smart guy? Put glasses on him.
Yep. White.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Skinny. White skinny glasses. That's the smart guy. He's gonna be hacking.
So he starts hacking the computers because man, there was a lot of hacking going on in the 80s.
Yeah, and there wasn't really actually hacking happening. Like he just knew the password.
Yes.
He got the password. And then he was just inputting it while the other person was like inputting it. And
then Chico's like, I'm getting out of here no matter what.
That Chico scene was like, okay, so he starts running, and based on the gunshot sounds alone, I knew that this was going to be a low budget movie. Because the gunshots were literally like, like I think it was a dude with his mouth making those gunshot noises. And so. And so when Chico starts running, I'm like, I can't wait to see the practical effect of his head exploding. Like I was so like anxious to see his head pop, and then when it popped, I was like, "That's what I'm fucking talking about."
Yeah, man. And it's funny because like he could have waited like literally 15 more seconds and been perfectly fine, right? Head gone, but they still break out. They're fucking gone, dude. They take off and hit Bartertown.
Yeah.
So. This is where all like the squalor is happening.
Right.
This is a normal person in this world, in my opinion.
What?
These people
are
like the normal everyday person.
Interesting. I didn't get that like just based on like the airport
They're eating
scene.
rats and shit. Yeah, but those are, I think you're supposed to see
the airport scene seemed very middle class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was like the wealthy.
It seemed like regular people.
Okay.
The one thing that I wanted to point out about the squalor scene here Who's the guy with the long hair? It's like the head of the resistance. Not the guy with the Che Guevara hat, but like the old guy.
Yeah, Mick.
Yeah, Mick. So that guy is like, you're a cop and you ruined my country or whatever, and he's got a British accent.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what country is he talking about?
You go with who you can get, right?
Yeah. He's just like, can you do an American accent? And he's like,
I'll try.
I don't think so, mate. And he's like, whatever.
Close enough.
Just go for it.
Close enough. All right. So they're watching, and we get a little clip of the Running Man going on in the background and whatnot, and you kind of see what's going on with that. Yeah. Of course.
I want to point something out. Mm-hmm. So far, so I did some math, right? 17, it's 30 years, right? Is what it's supposed to be, 30 years in the future. It looks like the 80s in a way that didn't look very hidden. Like they didn't try to make it look like a future city.
Yeah, like RoboCop.
Right.
Like RoboCop did a better job.
Yeah, where everybody was like dressed in the buildings and the cops and the cars and whatever. I mean, it looked shitty still, but it looked like a different time period. Where this one, they had the big like cityscape, and I guess some people had like more twirlies in their hair, but otherwise it looked like the 80s. You know, like I was like, okay, did the time pass at all?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, here's what I would argue to that, right?
You think that was a budget thing?
So that was 87 to 17, right? 30 years.
30 years.
If I think back to like 95, it's not that much different than today.
I would say that it is very different.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Like, in what way? Like, the cars are very similar?
No.
Really?
No.
Like...
No, they're not.
They're not?
No.
I disagree.
A 95 Buick Regal does not look like a car from today.
I mean...
They were very boxy back then.
They were more boxy.
Right.
I would say that.
And just the way that people are, cell phones and TV screens everywhere. And
yeah, but that's stuff inside the home, not outside of the home, though.
Oh, I don't know, man. People are using cell phones all over the place.
No one has a cell phone. All right. So, anyways,
and building construction was super different too. Like, look at how much, like look at a McDonald's in 1995 and a McDonald's now. That's an entirely different building, dude. The whole aesthetic is different.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
What do you mean?
We didn't have an economic collapse. Maybe that's why everything looks 80s. I mean,
still. It's gonna change in some ways.
Yeah, I suppose.
I thought one of two things. Either they had a shoestring budget, so I'm really excited to hear about the budget, or they had zero design vision. They were just like a bad set designer.
Yeah, that's probably the case. So then we jump over to where the Running Man gets filmed.
Yeah.
And we're introduced to Richard Dawson. How familiar are you with Richard Dawson?
He seemed vaguely familiar.
I mean, because you're a little young.
Right. I did want to point out one more thing. Does Arnold Schwarzenegger, did he at this time have a stogie clause in his contract that in every movie he had to be smoking a stogie?
So Arnold Schwarzenegger by this point did whatever he wanted to
by this
because
point,
he was
so
huge.
Here's what I know about this, right? Because I was just like how long after Terminator did this come out? It didn't. I guess this was his fourth movie. But this was only his fourth movie. He started in 1984, and this was 1987. He had been active for 3 years.
I think he's made a lot of money by this point.
He did Conan, then Terminator, then Commando, and then this movie. He did 4 movies in 3 years.
Yeah, but he was already a big time star, even before Terminator, because he was like this huge bodybuilder that was
he
like
retired from bodybuilding.
Yeah. So like he was multiple time Mr. Olympia as well, right? So this is only his 4th film, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was like either. 5th or 6th. But
I was blown away.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, actually, when I think about it. But yeah, I guess,
because Conan the Barbarian was 1984. And in 3 years, he was already 4th movie in, and this was his 4th movie.
Yeah, but I would say like
fucking work.
So I'm sorry. So it was Conan, Terminator,
Commando,
and
then
I mean, you're talking about Terminator and Commando were huge successes, right? Like, so I think
Commando was a huge success. I couldn't remember. I remember liking that movie. I just can't remember.
I think the numbers were really fine on Commando.
With Commando, I remember the only thing that I really thought of that movie was that it was 80s schlock in the best way possible.
Commando,
yeah,
absolutely.
It really threaded that needle.
Commando was definitely a movie that I am in love with, but I mean,
I could see myself watching that movie a second time.
In 1985,
bananas.
Commando made $57 million.
Yeah, that's big.
Right? Like, so, I mean, that is pretty big. It was the number one release domestically at the time. Like, so.
Yeah, it was big time.
Yeah, it's pretty big, man.
So you think that by this point, Arnold had like some contract power?
He was able to do, I think he was a draw by this point.
Yeah.
Like,
so they were just, if he was like, hey, I want to be smoking a cigar, they were just like, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd point out too, the original Terminator, 1984, just short of 80 million.
Yeah.
That is big time on that fucking floor. So yeah, man, I think he was like writing checks at this point.
Right,
and shit.
right,
so
right.
he was the guy in charge. So okay, Richard Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know much about him. This guy is like, if you are my age or older, this is the guy when it comes to TV show, game show type of thing.
Oh, okay, so he was a game show guy.
Yes, absolutely. And he was like the man. Like, you know, it's like Chuck Woolery, Alex Trebek probably, but a lot of people know him.
Yeah.
There's no way you wouldn't know Richard Dawson if you're 40 or older.
Right.
Okay,
I know Alex Trebek.
Yeah, but he kept on going. Richard Dawson died, of course. So like that's
Alex Trebek died too.
But recently, like he died like 5 or 6 years ago, right? So
yeah.
I don't know anymore because of COVID, but like, yeah, exactly. So it's not that. Yeah, he is definitely, Richard Dawson is definitely like a character, right? Like he's very much like, you know, this guy over.
That's
the top
interesting that they chose him then as like such a well-known TV game show celebrity that they would choose him to do the one in the future. Because it's just like, this guy still, you know, like how do you separate, you know, like the...
Well, he's not Richard Dawson though. He's Damon Killian.
Right. Well, okay. Well, I'm just saying, you know.
He's an asshole right off the bat. He's like, you know, the guy mopping the floor gets that asshole fired. He's like, if he's mopping the floor tomorrow, you'll be fired.
He was really rough with that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, well, he was really nice with the guy, but like immediately he's just like, that guy better not be here.
Yeah, exactly.
This dipshit better not be here.
Yeah, exactly. Works very well with the Justice Department too. Tells them to go fuck themselves.
Right.
Right. You know, so you know something's going on.
He's one of the most powerful people in America.
Because his show is like the most popular thing, and it's what's holding together America and whatnot. So, all right, Ben's like, okay, that's Arnold's name, of course, in this movie, Ben.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Ben was a stupid name for him.
Yeah, I agree.
I did write down at this time. I hope the budget for this movie was small. If it was, I have a lot of respect for it. Because if it was a small budget, like they were doing the most with it, you know. It kind of felt like an indie movie that had like really high aspirations.
Yeah, Ben is now on the run. He's going to meet up with his brother. He knows where his brother is at.
Right.
He goes into like, it's a pretty wealthy area and whatnot. Goes into that area.
Nice apartment.
Figures out Ben is his brother is no longer there.
Yeah.
It's a woman that's there.
You know, and they never touched on the brother.
Yeah, they do. They talk about later. She just mentions
that he got taken for like reclamation or whatever.
Re-education.
Re-education. But they never.
Well, so you can kind of get the gist of that. Yeah, exactly. Because you know, like everybody's lying, like everything's lying, right? We just keep seeing that over and over. Very Commando style meetup, in my opinion, for this movie. Like because it's like thrust upon, like this woman is thrust upon the situation and whatnot. Very much like a Commando type of thing.
Yeah, Maria Conchita Alonso.
Very Hispanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had heard of this actress. I don't know how. Yeah, I Googled her and I never seen anything that she's been in, but I knew that name.
Yeah. Weird. So at this point, we jump back over to after he has this discussion with her and they find out, you know, like shit's not going well with his brother and he's got to get out of there. She's like, you're fucked. You can't get out of here. Yeah. He's like, no, we're going to travel out of here. I'm going to take you with me or whatnot. You're going to help me get there and then I'm going to let you go, basically, and shit like that, you know. But right off the bat, I got to say this, man. Like, he's kind of a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Ben. Like
he was even like taunting her and shit.
Yeah. Like I was just like, this isn't the Arnold that I know from like Commando.
Yeah. And like they painted him as like this good altruistic guy at first with the I'm not gonna fire on children kind of move. But almost immediately afterwards, he was just like, oh, I don't give a shit about your revolution or whatever the fuck. I'm just trying to get out. You know, like he was kind of an asshole throughout.
Yeah, I agree, man. I noted that. So we jump back over to Killian, and he's like, I gotta spice up my show and shit like that. Like, let's figure out what we're gonna fucking do and whatnot. And they start giving him ideas, and they were gonna go with these bank robbers that made a suicide packed. He's like, did they commit suicide? Obviously not. Well, then they're unreliable.
Right.
Hello, gorgeous.
Yeah.
And he sees video of Ben breaking out of prison. He's like,
I need him.
I need that guy right there. Right. So then they take off and they go to the airport.
So there's two things that have happened that we haven't touched on.
Okay,
The first
you hit
is
me
that while they were watching TV,
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura's on the TV.
Yes. Yeah.
At first I was just like, is that Jesse Ventura? You know, like, or is this just a big guy? And then the more they were showing him, I'm just like, oh shit, that's Jesse Ventura. He's in this movie. I was like, okay, bet. And then the second thing was when the game show guy, Cillian Murphy, calls
Cillian Murphy
calls the State Department.
Yeah.
He has the operator patch them in. And that just was really like out of place for me. You know, like in 2017, it's just like, operator, get me the fucking State Department. I was like, okay.
Here's the thing though, right? I don't think he's talking to the generic operator that answers the phone.
I think
it's like the operator of the really?
Of the building?
Yeah.
No, he was talking to the operator.
All right. Okay, cool.
I'm telling you, this was 1980.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we jump over to the airport. They're gonna take a flight, right? And he there's this weird I don't even understand this scene because he's like going to use her pass. They scan her pass, her travel pass, and then they act confused like she can't find her pass.
Right. So it looks like the travel pass is just like
a generic Nazi type of paperwork.
Like there's not like a picture associated with
which is asinine,
or
right?
even a name.
Because even the Nazis had pictures associated
with it. It's not even a name.
Right,
it's just, do you have like I could have punched the guy behind me and taken his and then here
multi-pass,
you go. But whatever. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And they, of course, the hardcore security guard is ruffled by the fat lady behind him going, come on, let's get moving or whatever.
I'm not trying to deal with it. And just go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you're a terrorist. Just do it.
So they move through and they're going to get away with it, but then she freaks out and she starts screaming and shit because she's heard he's a murderer, right?
Yeah.
Which makes sense, right? You would be like, hey.
She did not take that lying down. You know, she stomped on his foot and kicked his balls and ran away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, exactly.
Nice job.
So then
I was just like, good on you, you know? Like,
I agree. This totally makes sense, right? And it's kind of like the commando scene where she's like, yeah, I'll help you or whatever. And then she goes and tells the security guard, and that's one big motherfucker. So he gets arrested at this point. Yeah. And then he gets brought in by Cillian Murphy. And he's like, hey, man, here's the deal. I want to give you an offer. Right. If you come to the Running Man, you'll be able to go free. If you win the Running Man, you'll go free and you'll have all this extra shit. And he's, fuck you. And he is not having any bit of it. But unfortunately, his black friend and smart friend have also been captured and they're going to be in the Running Man. He was
just bet. What if I killed the only other two people you've ever talked to in this movie? What do you think about that?
Right. Like these people that you met in prison.
Right.
And just broke out of prison with. Yeah. Had a 5-minute scene with, and then took off and didn't give a fuck about. Yeah, I'm gonna kill them if you.
I was like, oh no, not them.
Right, what? Exactly. Right. So then he reluctantly agrees because of that, of course, right? Because you got to get him in the Running Man show. Right. So then the news, you see, there's like a news broadcast, and the woman's paying attention to the news broadcast, and they talk about how they captured Ben at the airport after he shot the fuck out of a bunch of people.
And she's like, wait a second,
that didn't happen at all. Like that's fucking bullshit.
Wait a sec.
And then they have a commercial for Climbing for Dollars.
Climbing for Dollars. I was like, whoa. Honestly, I wouldn't tune into that show, obviously, because it's like horrific, nightmare. But if there was like a fake version of that show, I would watch it.
Here's the thing, right? If this doesn't give you like big RoboCop vibes, I don't know what to. Like this is starting to be where like.
This might as well have been either.
In the same world?
Yeah. That's like
agreed.
Yeah, this is vaguely the same premise.
Yes, exactly. So now at this point, they start getting the Running Man games together and whatnot. They're going to get these guys ready for their trip down Running Man Alley. Yeah. They get all done up. He gets a personal what do they call that guy that's like helping him?
Oh, the marketing guy.
The marketing, attorney. Right. The marketing attorney, right? Yeah. So he does a whole thing with him and he has a funny scene where he like stabs the guy,
which stabs him. And the my favorite part was that the security guard didn't do shit about that.
Nope.
He was just like, no, you can. This is a guy you can stab.
Yeah.
We don't care about this guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, this security guard doesn't do a lot of security.
No, he's the least effective security guard in in any movie I've ever watched.
I agree. Yeah. Like, just very weird.
Yeah.
So
he's just kind of staring.
Yes, exactly. This is a guy, actually. We'll get to it later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty. His backstory's pretty awesome, in my opinion. So he, while Ben is doing this, the woman starts getting involved. It turns out she works at the Running Man place.
Well,
right?
she had said that. She said that she was like a composer for them.
Yep, absolutely. And so you get this this whole thing gets going. They get him locked up in the chairs and whatnot, the launching chairs, which just are funny to me. Then, of course, you get one of the most famous Arnold lines of all time.
I'll be back.
Hey, Killian, I'll be back.
I thought that was super stupid.
Killian deadpan looks at him and goes, only in a rerun.
Yeah.
I love that so much. It's unbelievable. And one of the reasons I love that is supposedly, and who knows if this is 100% true or not, that was completely ad-libbed by Richard Dawson.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's great ad-lib.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. And maybe it wasn't the first take or whatever.
Dude.
Well, I mean, you have to remember, he was a game show host, so he's used to like,
he was the
funny
Steve Harvey of the 80s.
Yes. That's a great way to put it and whatnot.
So I put in my notes, I'll be back is cheese.
It only works. It works amazingly in the original Terminator movie. Yeah, because of the situation it's in and stuff like that. It's not said cheesy.
Right. In that first one, it's like, oh, great. Good move.
Back.
Yeah.
Right.
But every single time in every other movie he's ever said it, it's just like, okay, dude, fucking relax, dude.
I'm trying to think
it's like the guy who peaked in high school. That being said, I really liked the rework of the video that they played. Where they're showing the helicopter and then he's just like, no, I'm going to kill him. And then he kills him.
Yeah.
I thought that like false flag kind of video. I liked that. I actually put that in I liked it so much. I put it down in my notes.
That's cool.
I like the false flag.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting that they could do. They did that stuff. There's more of that I have to get to a little bit later.
Okay,
that's unbelievable.
Okay,
so, all right. So then the audience gets to pick which one of the runners is going to go after them.
Right.
And the first one they pick, Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is a fucking badass, I guess. A guy in a hockey outfit and a blade for hockey stick.
I think maybe I should have Googled this, and I don't want it to sound racist.
Okay.
Was this the same guy that played Oddjob in the GoldenEye movie or in the 007 movie? James Bond movie?
Definitely not.
It kind of looked like him.
Oddjob?
Yeah, you know Oddjob?
Isn't Oddjob like super short?
Maybe, yeah, but I don't know that was an actor or if that was camera work.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, I think maybe just the character was supposed to be super short. Anyway, I found out recently that Oddjob is in prison for the rest of his life for like murdering people.
So it turns out wow, that's wild. So he literally lived up to his whole thing. So Sub-Zero goes after them, and there's a whole thing where he's like fighting him on ice or whatever, and then he's simply dispatched super easily by Ben, choking him to death with barbed wire.
Yeah. Before we move on from this though.
Yep.
I thought that this movie was very low budget. But the tubes that they get shot through, I wrote down entire budget of the movie went into the tubes. Because those tubes were not a practical effect. Those tubes were real tubes.
Yeah.
And they went on for a long time. They were long tubes.
Hey, Killian, your man Sub-Zero. Now Plane Zero.
Yeah, I wrote down Plane Zero was very stupid.
Unbelievably. Just
what did I also put? Everybody was really sad when Sub-Zero died. My note was, how were they supposed to win if not by killing the champion?
Yeah.
Was that not the point?
I think it's extremely rare that anyone wins because only 4 people had ever won before.
Right, but did they not kill the entire champion lineup last time then?
Yeah, I would think so. Run? But yeah.
Because like they were all like super surprised and kind of like sad and like, oh no, we lost a good one, we lost a real one. And I was just like, well, what the fuck was the point?
And they take it super seriously, right? Like I thought for a moment,
he was super sad. Cillian Murphy was like gonna cry.
I couldn't remember this movie well enough, but I thought it was literally going to be him being like, Sub-Zero was a hero to all of us or whatnot. Blah blah blah.
He was like in mourning,
and now to this. Like that's what I expected it to happen or whatever, and it didn't happen at all. So that was kind of weird. So at this point, they're going to get 2 because a woman has a problem choosing between two of the next runners. So he's like, fuck it. Instead, I'll give you both Buzzsaw and Dynamo. Yeah. And at this point, we cut over back to the woman, and now she's going to get involved, and she's going to start to hunt down the real footage of what happened and shit like that at this thing.
She sneaks into the vaults.
Yep.
And finds the footage.
Yep.
And because like she, is suspicious.
Yes.
Finds the footage.
Yes.
Immediately caught.
Immediately caught.
But they don't take away the footage.
No.
They just let her keep it.
Why? Why do they need to take it away? Because she's definitely going to die in a few minutes.
Well, they should probably just take it away for, keeping its sake.
Yeah, but it's the 80s.
Yeah.
So.
I also didn't like the part where she was like, I still have the footage. And he's just like, where did you keep it? And she's like, that's none of your business. I was like, no, where?
Right.
What's the implication there? In her vagina? Like,
or in her asshole or some shit? I don't know.
That was such a weird...
I love when they start talking about her and they're like, this is Ben's like co-lover or whatever. And she had sexual relationships with up to 3 men in a year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's like, what a conservative nation this was.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And then, so they're running around at this point, right? As Buzzsaw and Dynamo are getting ready. And they're talking about, they're trying to find something that's in the Running Man area. Like Smart Guy is like, there's an uplink in here. Oh, they're uploading to this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah, so he sees that there's a bunch of dishes that are pointed towards the area. So he figures the broadcasting is coming from somewhere close. Right. And if I can hack into that broadcasting network, we can hijack it and start broadcasting our own.
Exactly. And so at this point, Buzzsaw is on the loose and he's driving around his fucking motorbike with his chainsaw, and shit like that. And he catches up with the black guy and Arnold.
Nicks him.
And he fucking boom hits the guy in the chest with the chainsaw.
A little rib.
Right, exactly. And then
I felt bad for him.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
When he got hit, I was just like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks. Yeah. But at the same time, Arnold finally gets the guy off the I forgot how he gets him off the bike. Did he hits him with a pole, right?
No. He the guy gets Arnold and ties him up with a chain.
Yes.
And then he starts dragging him around.
That's right.
With the chain, and then on one of those drag arounds, Arnold wraps the chain around a piece of like rebar, and then he flies off the bike.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Like, all right.
Then they start fighting over the saw. This saw is a part of me, and I'm gonna make it a part of you.
And then that didn't happen.
Not at all. Arnold's just like,
did he
no
not
thanks.
have control over the movement of the saw? Because you'd think if it was in his crotch, he would just he would just turn it off.
But he was like, nope, I'm gonna go out with the saw. You live by the saw, you die by the saw.
Yeah, right.
He's like, fuck it, right?
He's just like, you know what, you earned this.
Yes,
go
exactly.
ahead and rip my balls off with the saw.
I do want to point out too, we skipped over Dynamo's entry where he's an opera singer shooting lightning into.
It was so stupid,
Dynamo! Yeah, exactly.
The opera singing was ridiculous.
Unbelievable. Now, I'm going to, unfortunately, my mind blanks here a little bit. Okay. I don't remember exactly what happened. I know he comes out in his little go-kart. And he's chasing down the nerd and the woman, right?
Right. No, he shows up and kills the nerd.
Yes. Yeah, so correct.
Because the nerd and the woman are breaking into the thing.
Right.
She remembers the password, and just as he remembers the password, Dynamo shows up and blasts the nerd, and he just dies instantly.
Yes.
And then, so she runs away
with the password.
Well, because she knows it now. And then he comes out in his car.
Yes.
And then Arnold's there.
Yes.
And then he's just like, get down.
And flips the car and shit. Yes.
And then, the car is chasing Arnold.
Yes.
And then when he runs up the little hill of trash.
Right.
And then the car flips over. And then he comes back down and he's going to impale the dude.
Yes.
And he's just like, no, don't do it, Yeah. And then he doesn't.
Right, he doesn't because he's like, we're not like you or whatever, right? This and that.
I would never kill a defenseless man or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like so at this point, dude, they tap in to Arnold and they're like, hey, buddy, I think this is where he offers him a deal.
Yeah.
He's like, look, man, you can become a runner.
Yeah, he's just like, real talk, dude. Like,
you're pretty badass.
Pulling in a huge amount of numbers for us right now.
Yes.
And I would not be, I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you, like a position here.
Yes.
Like a long-term position.
And Ben freaks out.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you! I'm gonna get back up there and break your goddamn spine!
Yeah, he loses his mind.
Yeah.
And really it was really like, I hesitate to use the word, but it was pretty cringe.
Yeah.
The way that he was like,
it's too much, man.
Yeah, he was so elaborate about it. It was just like, dude, shut up. You know, it was just like, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to tear your spine out and I'm going to shove it up your ass. And I'm like, dude, you're talking too much, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. So they're like, all right, we gotta go to a runner that's definitely gonna get these two fucking these assholes.
Just like call in the big guns.
So they go to the old man, Fireball.
Fireball.
So they bring in Fireball, and
who can fly.
He has a jetpack.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more 80s than a jetpack, bro.
Right, dude. He's got a jetpack and a flamethrower.
Yeah. But it's weird because like this whole show is on like a set inside, but then he flies off and there's like buildings around him and stuff like that.
No,
so
I didn't get I didn't understand like where
how this was all laid out. Yeah, no, I agree because like everything
basement? There was buildings down there.
Yeah, and everything is like enclosed and shit except for where he flies out.
He went down a long tube.
Yes.
You know? Like I thought this was low.
Super weird. So then, of course, they go back to the bets of who's going to get the next kill or whatever. And an old woman is like, I'm going to go with...
I think it's all Benny Boy.
Ben Richards.
Yeah.
And you can't...
She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want with my money. She gets really defensive about it.
Yes, exactly. So Fireball catches up with Ben and the Mexican lady.
Right.
And he starts fighting against Fireball by just like launching canisters of gas at him, like these large, and I'm just like, man, you are a strong motherfucker.
So there was only 2 moments in the movie where he was portrayed as being hulkishly strong.
Yes.
The first one was when he was in the room with the Mexican lady. Mm-hmm. And he pulls the
literally something anybody could do.
I don't think so because it was screwed into the ground. And
you're right. Yeah,
because
I'm like that lady is like 120 pounds. So if she's lying on a bench, I could lift that up easily.
But no, he rips the screws out of the ground.
You're right.
So I was just like, oh shit, is he like a superhero of some kind? And then never again another feat of strength until this moment where he's picking up 50-gallon barrels. Yeah. Easy as pie and just
water fluid is heavy
as shit. That's pretty dense material.
Like a gallon is like 3 or 4 pounds.
Dude, yeah. Like he was picking these things up like they were nothing.
Yeah.
And then there's this massive explosion.
Yeah. That Fireball just walks through.
And he just walks through it.
Yep, because he's fireproof.
Right. He's
importantly, I want to point that out. He's fireproof.
Right.
Because of his suit that's fireproof.
Right.
All right. So then, of course, the woman has taken off.
Right.
And she gets to a locker room.
Yeah.
The winner's locker room.
Yeah.
Turns out there are no winners.
Right.
You meant last year's losers. Yeah. That's like Fireball's response, you know, snappy response.
Last year's winners? You mean last year's.
And then Arnold shows up, of course. And like throws him into the wall, which breaks his gas line.
Right. And he's getting coated in gasoline.
Yes.
And then he chucks a flare at him.
Yes. And then lights him up.
Right. A second time.
Yes.
This time.
He's not fireproof.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it's not that he was fireproof, it's that he was explosion proof.
No. He was fireproof, but not explosion proof.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, inverse. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And so the explosion is what got him.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll allow that, I guess. You know, it's an 80s movie.
Benefit of that, I guess.
Okay. So what a hothead.
Yeah, so many of them.
So now they're like, you know what? We're done with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura is going to get on the scene, right?
Jesse Ventura is really pissed off, too, because they set him up in like a suit.
Yes.
And he's just like, no, I don't need this fucking suit. I was ripping people's heads off, when I was 14 years old or whatever.
He's like, dude, this is the code of the gladiators, not no bullshit suits, Killian. I'm not fucking doing it or whatever. And he's just like, he refuses to fight. He straight up refuses to fight. So now they're like, oh shit, we gotta
use a digital.
We gotta figure out something else. Get on that AI shit. Yeah. And so at this point, though, Richards and the woman, they're caught up by the People's Network, which is led again by Old Man Mick is back in the mix, of course, right?
Yeah, they just like they are like, hey, we've been here the whole time.
Yes. We've been in and he's like, why didn't you help us at all, you fucking idiots? And he's like, well, then the police would know where we are. Right. And it's
I'm like, okay, well.
But you came now.
Yeah.
Whatever. So of course, then they're going to make the first CGI murder scene of all time or whatnot, where Ben and Amber fight against Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
I think he breaks Amber's neck, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then
lifts her up and snaps her neck.
And then rams Ben
after
into
a
spikes.
good fight,
a great fight.
Right?
Yes,
they go
very
back and
believable
forth.
fight.
Right.
Yep.
He gets his like teeth knocked out. He's all bloody, and then they shove him into a spike wall.
You want to hear a hilarious behind the scenes of this?
Yeah.
So they release this. I can barely see.
Okay. What is this?
They released this movie to test audience without the explanation of the guy creating the scene with Ben, and the deep fake technology was so good. The people that watched this thought they literally murdered Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What? What? No.
Yes. Yes, it is in the fucking behind this. They had to add that scene where he's explaining that he's going to create this video or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because these people thought they actually killed Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this
and that was just the end of the movie.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Well, okay. I mean, that tracks.
It's the 80s, right?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
It's
all right.
US.
So at this point, Ben is dealing with Mick, and he's like, I don't want any of your. Instead of the last time where he's like, I don't want any of your bullshit. He agrees to become part of the resistance. But do you know why he agrees to become part of the resistance? Because he promised Killian he'd be back, and he doesn't want to be a liar.
Right. I remember that. Yeah. Like, I still don't care about egalitarianism or whatever your plight.
Yes.
I hate that guy up there.
Yep. So then they show up on the scene, and then all hell breaks loose. There's all kinds of shooting. For some reason, a guard just guns down some people that are like running around. Like,
well, there's just a lot of shooting.
Yes,
and some of the audience members get caught in the crossfire.
Yes, weirdly, it's just like, but of course not by Mick and his crew. No. Only only Killian's people.
Everyone's firing from the hip. By the way, everyone's shooting from the hip.
Yes,
but whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? So then eventually,
people are gonna get hit. This is a gunfight. Sorry.
We've seen a movie where Arnold is. There are flowers that block shots. That
literally,
shot at.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey,
that was one of my favorite parts of that movie. Though.
Of course. So then Ben eventually catches up with Killian, and unfortunately for Ben, though, the security guard's on duty.
The security guard comes out, and I'm just like, oh, is this the secret final boss?
Yeah.
It was not.
Nope, because Killian made a joke about him being on steroids.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh, well, you shouldn't have made fun of me earlier.
So this guy, his name is like Seven Ol Thorsen. That's how I'm going to pronounce it because I don't speak, Danish. I think he's Danish, if I remember. This guy was in Gladiator. He was the guy with like the mask. It's one of the powerful ones that I think Maximus kills or whatever.
Okay.
But he was like kind of a badass up to that.
Yeah.
This dude was like super good friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was with tons of movies with Arnold. Really? He was in Conan. Oh. He was one of what was that? Thulsa Doom. Okay. One of his sidekicks.
Sure.
That's him. He was importantly, they became friends because he was like an Olympian bodybuilder and whatnot, right? He was in Running Man, Red Sonja.
Big guy.
Yes, exactly. Running Man, obviously this. Red Sonja, which is another Arnold movie. Raw Deal, Red Heat, Twins, Total Recall, Predator, Terminator 2, Last Action Hero, Eraser, Jingle All the Way, and Batman and Robin. These are all Arnold movies that this guy was in. Arnold was like, if I'm making a movie, this guy's getting a paycheck as well, of course. So that's awesome.
That's a good friend.
Yes, I agree, man. Like there's stories about that with like Hulk Hogan and stuff like that, which in the words of Iron Sheik, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But like he would get like his friends paid all the time and shit like that. Like Eric Bischoff has basically made his living past WCW being friends with Hulk Hogan and shit. So yeah. So at this point, they upload the feed. The woman uploads the feed of what really happened at the Bakersfield massacre. So they reveal to the masses, hey, this whole government
actually happened right before, but
you're right. Yep. The whole everybody figures out this has all been bullshit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So actually, no, if I remember correctly, Ben shows up. We have the scene with the guard. Okay.
No.
Then it cuts away to this, and then it cuts back to him strapping in Killian.
Yes, but the scene where they showed the real footage happened when they got with the guy.
Okay, you might be right.
With the guy in the corner, because I remember when I was watching this movie, I thought that the guard didn't do anything to Ben because
of that,
because they had shown them the footage.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, but I guess it was also because he got like spurred because of the steroid thing.
Yeah, the steroid thing. So then, of course, you know who's not dead yet though? Good old opera singer Dynamo.
He tries to rape that woman.
Because he wasn't going to rape her at first.
Yeah.
But then she makes a joke about him having a small dick.
Yeah.
And now he's going to rape her.
I either blinked or something.
And then his pants are off.
His pants were off.
That's exactly.
I was like, what the fuck?
That is like a funny thing that like everybody brings up all the time. Yes, like that's a thing.
Hilarious.
Right? Yeah.
I thought I missed something.
Yeah, no. So at this point, of course, Ben locks Killian in the fucking Running Man, pipe.
Right.
Because this pipe, what it does is it sends you down into the Running Man area and then safely lands you there.
Right.
And then you get out.
The reverse
and then
thrusters.
Right. And then you become a Running Man character.
Right.
But of course, for this time,
I thought maybe I had missed the scene where they had like messed with
none of that happens.
No.
He just shoots out, goes flying off into a sign of himself, and then explodes when he hits the sign.
And then the TNT goes off.
Yes, exactly.
The TNT that's hidden inside the cart.
So then at this point, music starts playing, of course. Go to the highest hero. Some bullshit.
Right.
Fucking 80s.
Just some 80s shit.
80s dog shit music. And then, of course, the Mexican lady, Amber, comes running out.
Right.
I think they share a kiss or whatever. And then it plays off into the fucking music and whatnot of the 80s music. So, all right. For this movie, I got some interesting behind the scenes.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
This is going to blow your mind, some of the things I'm going to. More so than the CGI thing.
All right.
Originally, this was not supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's a surprise. What was it supposed to be?
Christopher Reeves, Superman.
Oh, no way. And then what? He fell off the horse?
And he chose not to do the film. And originally the director was going to be Andrew Davis, who has done a bunch of things, but the thing that you would know most popularly, The Fugitive.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Damn, Christopher Reeves and
the guy who created The Fugitive
would have been an interesting movie.
In this version, Reeves was supposed to be more in line with Stephen King's book. Mm-hmm. So he was going to be a regular ass guy who was like super poor and he had a family and he agreed to go to this show because you could win millions of dollars on this show. Oh. And it was all going to be about like the shittiness of this world and this country and stuff like that. And instead, when they the director quit like right beforehand when they couldn't get Reeves and whatnot, and so they brought in Glazer instead, the guy who actually directed it, and Arnold. And Arnold is like super like critical of this movie and whatnot, and because like he like. The original story is more of what he wanted and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And instead it got changed into this thing where he's like this innocent hero that's been condemned and whatnot.
Right.
And that he was been super critical of Glazer because instead of it being like a movie that was like about this serious like thing, it becomes like a TV like, like game show thing and shit like that and whatnot. So
it was supposed to be a little bit more like not Hunger Games, Squid Games.
Yes. Much more like that. That's actually a great comparison. And so instead like it like the original plan for this movie was way deeper than what was like actually put on and Schwarzenegger's always been disappointed with the movie because of that and whatnot. And so originally it wasn't supposed to be Richard Dawson either. It's supposed to be Chuck Woolery. Do you remember that guy? Love Connection? 2 and 2. I'll be back in 2 and 2.
No.
Wow, man, that's
you're old as fucking.
No. Like most people in their 30s would know him because Love Connection was on for quite some time. I bet you if you Googled this guy, you would remember.
Recognize his name? What's his name?
Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know this guy.
Well, what a surprise. And so when he couldn't do it because he was tied up in something else, Schwarzenegger was already chosen for this part, and he was good friends with Richard Dawson.
He was the original host of Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. And then so he was the one who brought Richard Dawson in. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty interesting. Okay.
Love Connection, by the way, ended in 1994. I was 6 when it was done.
So you weren't watching it then?
I was not watching Love Connection.
That's weird to me. I think you would have been.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk budget real quick.
Yes, I do want to talk budget.
$27 million.
That's that. You know what that is? Embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Because here's the thing, right? I want to point out.
I'm telling you, 20 of that million went into those tubes.
RoboCop came out the same year.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how much that budget was?
How much?
16 million.
Yeah. Okay.
So 11 million less than this.
Somebody pocketed $20 million.
I agree, dude. Because RoboCop, in my opinion, looks better than this movie, and it costs way less.
Dude, RoboCop had massive
at
fucking
209.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, and and the money made on this movie, $38 million. So it was
an
not,
absolute fucking failure.
I wouldn't call it a failure.
I don't know, dude. That's pretty failure-y.
It's not good. I'll say that for sure.
Because isn't it like the same budget as like marketing, or they say, or whatever?
I don't think it was like that back in the day. Okay. That's something that's much more recent than this. So,
well, still, like, I don't know. That seems like a commercial failure to me.
So now that you know the budget and you know everything else about this movie, what would you say? Would you recommend it?
So I was not offended by this movie. When I watched the movie, I didn't think, wow, what a bad movie. That's not what I thought. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was a good movie, but I would recommend it to anybody who likes schlocky 80s action movies. Watch this movie. It's an inoffensive movie. You're gonna enjoy it to whatever degree you can. That being said, I don't think it's a particularly good movie. I think there's a couple of things. I think that the budget is hilarious now that I know it. But I also do think that like it was a competent movie. Like it had a beginning, middle, and end that made sense, for as predictable and as simple as it was.
Right.
It was competent. And I also think that everybody who was acting in it gave it their all. They treated it like it was a job, and nobody phoned it in. And they they did their parts. I still, that doesn't make it a good movie. It was so generic and simple and kind of boring. I won't even get into like the technical details. Like I thought halfway through the movie, I was just like, this movie's pacing is dog shit. But like not even, who cares? The movie itself was just a predictable, generic action movie. But you are the kind of person who likes like schlocky horror, right? Like even if it's like not necessarily great horror, you like watching horror movies. For the people who just like watching schlocky action movies, I think you'll like this movie. But I didn't. I give it a low rating. I can barely say that I think people should watch it and go into it knowing that it's a pretty schlocky 80s movie. Nothing really interesting. One of the things that I did think, though, when I was watching this was I don't think necessarily that Arnold is a good actor. Either he's a fine actor, but all of the scripts that he's been given don't do him any favors, or he's a bad actor and all of the scripts that he's been giving don't do him any favors, and it just paints him in a really bad light. Yeah. And so I suddenly found myself thinking, there were movies that were good for Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they played to his detriments, which were that he wasn't a great actor.
Like the Terminators and stuff like that.
Yeah, where like if he's not saying much, I think you can get away with it. But the more he's like, no, we gotta get, like, I'm like, oh, this is bad, or I'm gonna rip your skull out and shove it in your like, dude, like you're not great at this, This is just not your forte.
He has. I would say he has no range. Is what it is.
He has
right?
a very limited range.
Right. And so but he's an action star. Yeah. And this isn't like Stallone. It's funny. Eventually one day we'll get to Rambo 1 in the semi-near future. And you're going to be blown away, I think. Because
Stallone
is amazing. And you're like, what happened with this guy or whatnot, right? And it's like, it's very weird. So here's the thing, right, I would say about this movie. Does it hold up to my expectations? I think you were way nicer to this film than I'm about to be.
Interesting, yeah.
I think this movie kind of sucks, okay? I like Arnold. I like Arnold, and I think Arnold is okay in this movie. Yeah. But
I think Arnold was the weakest part of this movie.
Yeah. Here's what I would say. Richard Dawson is amazing in this movie. Yeah. This is a Richard Dawson movie more than an Arnold movie. Yeah. And he is fucking great. And if there's something that's great,
that's where I thought this movie was competent. And just like I think he carried the performance that he gave carried this movie on his back.
Was definitely, but you also have to remember he's way more experienced than anybody else in this movie. And so that shines through like crazy. He's in his element. He gets to be what he was, but like an evil version of himself and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So he gets to play it up more. Yeah. So like overall, like
I wonder if everybody watching this movie was just like, oh, I've never seen him like this. Right. Like when he gets into the elevator,
that's what it was.
And he's just like, fire that guy or I'm gonna, whoop your ass.
Absolutely.
I bet you a lot of people were just like, whoa. Jesus.
What an asshole. Yeah. So overall, here's the thing about this movie, right? I hadn't seen this in many years. Worse, and before I even get to that, worse about this movie is finding out what this movie could have been makes me even more frustrated with this movie, right?
Like just listening to like it being a realistic or a little bit more of like a poignant, heartfelt commentary on, you know, like the social stratification, you know, like like okay, I'm into that, you know, but like this was just schlocky action.
Yes, right. With that painted in the background slightly and whatnot. And like, so this movie's going to be redone soon, actually. Really? Yeah, in today's day and age and whatnot. So I'm really interested to see. I think Josh Brolin plays the character that.
Oh, cool.
And like in the end, if I remember correctly, this has a super dark ending in the book.
Oh, really?
Because like the character wins and then ends up like hijacking a plane and crashing it into like some like financial building and stuff like
They're
that.
not going to keep that in the movie.
There's no fucking chance they'd keep that in the movie. But like, I think that's the Stephen King ending, if I remember correctly. But either way, realistically, because I hadn't seen this movie in a while, and now I've seen it again, would I go back to it again? The biggest problem I have is like, Total Recall, better. Commando, better. Conan, although you wouldn't agree, better.
Right.
Terminator 1 and 2, all these are better to me. And why would I go back?
All of the movies that you said, I agree, except for Conan.
And so, like, why would I go back to this rather than one of those movies and whatnot? Right. So, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it was a bad movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It just wasn't like, you'd have to be like a specific kind of person who just likes
these kind of movies, right?
Because, and there are those movies, like, for instance, Conan, right? I wouldn't like. I give Conan a 1.
Yeah,
you know, like I give Conan a fucking don't watch this movie. Even if you like schlocky movies, there are better ones to watch. This one, at the very least, was competent. There were some performances that were like genuine, and I'm like, okay, you know, like I guess if you like these movies, go ahead and watch it. This is not a movie for me for sure.
I like that you are like digging so hard into Conan, so we're back, and you're just gonna piss people off again right away.
I can't believe that people defended that movie so much.
That movie is a biblical epic, bro. Like you're wrong.
Yeah,
like
no,
that
I'm
movie
not.
is.
I'm not. I'm actually very right on Conan.
Well, I mean, Conan aside. All right, so here's what I'm going to want you to do, though. Okay. I'd like you to go back to school and become a cop. Find yourself, and then fast forward to the future. Still be a cop, but you have AI robots running around. So like basically our future right now. And then I want you to join an anti-robot hunting task force and join us live as we cover Blade Runner.
Oh, shit. Yeah. You know what was funny? I've tried to watch Blade Runner 2 times, and both times I've fallen asleep.
Well, now you're gonna watch it live. Uplinks underground. Uplinks underground. If you don't shut up, I'm going to shove your uplink up your ass, and you'll be underground.